Imagine standing beneath the scorching Egyptian sun more than 4,500 years ago. The air shimmers with heat rising from the golden desert sands. In the distance, thousands of workers, their bodies glistening with sweat, haul enormous limestone blocks up a massive ramp. At the center of this organized chaos stands a living god, a pharaoh who believes he will rule not only this world, but the next. This is not a Hollywood movie. This is ancient Egypt at the height of its power. A civilization that lasted over 3,000 years, built wonders that still defy explanation, and left behind secrets so profound that they continue to haunt and inspire us today. Welcome to the complete history of Egypt, from its mysterious prehistoric origins to the eternal legacy of its pharaohs, pyramids, and undying mysteries. The story of Egypt begins long before the first pharaohs, around 10,000 BCE. As the last ice age drew to a close, the Sahara was not the barren desert we know today. It was a green savanna filled with lakes, rivers, and abundant wildlife. Early humans, ancestors of the Egyptians, hunted and gathered across this fertile landscape. As the climate dried and the Sahara turned to desert, people migrated to the life-giving Nile River. The Nile's predictable annual flooding deposited rich black silt, creating the black land, Kemet, that would sustain one of the greatest civilizations in human history. By 5,500 BCE, distinct cultures had emerged along the Nile. In Upper Egypt, the south, the Naqada culture developed sophisticated pottery, jewelry made from gold and semi-precious stones, and early forms of cosmetic palettes. They buried their dead with offerings, already showing a deep belief in the afterlife. In Lower Egypt, the north, other communities thrived on fishing and farming. Trade networks stretched to the Sinai Peninsula, Nubia, and even Mesopotamia. These early Egyptians were master craftsmen and organizers long before they had kings. Around 3,100 BCE, a pivotal moment occurred. According to tradition, King Narmer, also known as Menes, unified Upper and Lower Egypt. The famous Narmer palette, discovered in 1898, depicts him wearing the crowns of both regions, striking down enemies. This unification created the world's first large nation-state and launched Egypt's dynastic period, which would last for nearly 3 millennia. The Old Kingdom, the age of God, kings, and pyramids. c. 2686, 2181 BCE. The Old Kingdom is the era that defines ancient Egypt in the popular imagination. It was a time of incredible stability, divine kingship, and monumental architecture. Pharaohs were not mere rulers, they were living gods, intermediaries between the people and the divine. Their duty was to maintain Ma'at, the cosmic order of truth, balance, and justice. The third dynasty began with Pharaoh Djoser. His vizier and architect, Imhotep, designed the step pyramid at Saqqara, the first large stone building in the world. Rising in 6 steps to about 200 feet, it was a revolutionary achievement. Imhotep was later deified as a god of wisdom and medicine, one of the few commoners to achieve such status. The true golden age of pyramid building came in the 4th dynasty. Pharaoh Sneferu built 3 pyramids, experimenting with design. His son, Khufu, Cheops, then constructed the Great Pyramid of Giza around 2580 BCE. Originally 481 feet, 146.6 meters tall, it contained approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons. The precision is astonishing. The base is almost perfectly level, and the sides are aligned to true north, with an error of less than 0.05 degrees. How did they achieve this without modern tools? Theories include massive straight ramps, internal spiral ramps, levers, and even water lubrication. The mystery remains unsolved. Khufu's successors, Khafre and Menkaure, built the other 2 main pyramids at Giza. The complex was guarded by the Great Sphinx, a colossal statue with a lion's body and a human head, likely representing Khafre. These monuments were not built by slaves, as Hollywood often claims. Archaeological evidence shows the workers were well-fed, organized in teams, and took pride in their labor for the divine king. They even left graffiti praising their pharaoh. The Old Kingdom society was highly centralized. A vast bureaucracy managed taxes, labor, and resources. Scribes were essential, writing on papyrus with reed pens. Religion revolved around gods like Ra, the sun god, Osiris, god of the afterlife, Isis, and Horus. The pharaoh was the son of Ra and the living Horus. Upon death, he would join the gods in the afterlife if his heart was found worthy in the weighing of the heart ceremony. Despite its grandeur, the Old Kingdom eventually declined. Climate change caused lower Nile floods, leading to famine. Powerful regional governors, nomarchs, grew stronger as central authority weakened. This led to the First Intermediate Period, c. 2181, 2055 BCE, a time of political fragmentation, civil war, and local rule. It was a dark age, but also a period of social change and new literary works, expressing pessimism and reflection on mortality. The Middle Kingdom, reunification, and cultural renaissance, c. 2055, 1650 BCE. Around 2055 BCE, Mentuhotep II of Thebes defeated his rivals and reunited Egypt, founding the Middle Kingdom. This era brought stability, expanded trade, and a flourishing of arts and literature. Pharaohs focused on practical projects, improving irrigation, building fortresses in Nubia, and sending expeditions to distant lands like Punt for incense, ebony, and exotic animals. Literature thrived with classic works such as The Tale of Sinuhe and The Instruction of Amenemhat. Art became more realistic, showing emotion and individuality. Pharaohs like Senusret III were powerful warriors and administrators who strengthened Egypt's borders and economy. However, weak rulers in the later 13th dynasty allowed the Hyksos, a Semitic people from the Levant, to gain control of the Delta region. The Hyksos introduced new technologies: horses, chariots, composite bows, and bronze weapons. Their rule marked the Second Intermediate Period, c. 1650, 1550 BCE. But they also brought cultural exchange that Egypt would later use to its advantage. The New Kingdom, Egypt at its imperial peak, z. 1550-1070 BCE. The New Kingdom was Egypt's golden age of power and prosperity. Ahmose I expelled the Hyksos and founded the 18th dynasty, beginning a period of aggressive expansion. Egypt became a true empire. Queen Hatshepsut, one of history's most remarkable women, ruled as pharaoh for over 20 years. She dressed as a king, wore the false beard of royalty, and focused on peaceful trade expeditions and grand building projects. Her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari is a masterpiece of architecture. After her death, her stepson, Thutmose III, attempted to erase her memory, but her legacy endured. Thutmose III, the Napoleon of Egypt, conducted numerous military campaigns, creating an empire stretching from Nubia to Syria. The wealth from conquests funded magnificent temples and tombs in the Valley of the Kings. The most revolutionary pharaoh was Akhenaten, originally Amenhotep IV. He abandoned the traditional polytheistic religion and promoted worship of the Aten, the sun disk. He moved the capital to a new city called Akhenaten, Amarna, and encouraged a radical new art style that was more naturalistic. His wife, the beautiful Nefertiti, played a prominent role. After Akhenaten's death, his young son, Tutankhamun, restored the old gods and returned the capital to Thebes. Tutankhamun's nearly intact tomb, discovered by Howard Carter in 1922, remains one of the greatest archaeological treasures ever found, filled with golden artifacts that reveal the opulence of the period. The 19th dynasty produced one of Egypt's greatest rulers, Ramesses II. Known as Ramses the Great, He reigned for 66 years, fathered over 100 children, and built colossal temples, including Abu Simbel. He fought the Battle of Kadesh against the Hittites, the earliest battle in history, with detailed records from both sides. Later in life, he signed one of the world's first peace treaties. His mummy, now in the Cairo Museum, is a powerful reminder of his long reign. The New Kingdom eventually declined due to invasions by the Sea Peoples, economic strain, corruption, and climate issues. By the 20th dynasty, Egypt was weakening. The Third Intermediate Period saw division, with Libyan, Nubian, and later Persian rulers controlling parts of the country. Light Period and Foreign Rule. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great conquered Egypt. After his death, his general Ptolemy I established the Ptolemaic dynasty. The Ptolemies ruled as Greek pharaohs, blending Hellenistic and Egyptian culture. They built the famous Library of Alexandria and the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The most famous Ptolemaic ruler was Cleopatra VII. Intelligent, charismatic, and politically savvy, she formed alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Her defeat at the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE and subsequent suicide in 30 BCE ended the Ptolemaic line. Egypt became a Roman province, valued primarily for its grain supply to feed the Roman Empire. Under Roman and later Byzantine rule, Christianity spread rapidly. The Coptic Church developed, and many ancient temples were converted to churches. In 639-642 CE, Arab Muslim armies conquered Egypt, bringing Islam and the Arabic language. Over time, Egypt became predominantly Muslim while retaining its ancient Coptic Christian minority. The pyramids, mummification, and eternal mysteries. The pyramids were far more than tombs. They were cosmic machines designed to launch the pharaoh's soul into the afterlife. The Great Pyramid's internal structure, including the mysterious Grand Gallery and air shafts aligned with stars, reflects deep astronomical and religious knowledge. Modern engineers still debate exactly how they were constructed with such precision, using copper tools and stone. Mummification was a sophisticated science. The body was preserved through a 70-day process, involving removal of organs, drying with natron salt, and wrapping in linen. The heart was left in place as the seat of intelligence. Canopic jars held the other organs. The deceased was buried with the Book of the Dead spells to guide them through the dangers of the underworld to the judgment of Osiris. Egypt's timeless legacy. Ancient Egypt's influence on the world is immeasurable. Its concepts of kingship, monumental architecture, writing, medicine, mathematics, and religion shaped later civilizations. The Greeks and Romans admired and borrowed from Egypt. Its obelisks stand in cities around the world. Its art, symbols, and stories continue to inspire literature, film, and popular culture. The Nile still flows, the pyramids still stand, and the mysteries remain. Egypt reminds us of humanity's capacity for greatness, endurance, and the eternal human desire to conquer death and achieve immortality. Through their monuments and ideas, the pharaohs succeeded. They live forever in human memory.